Yeah, the Yellow Cloud is on the Mog Station. All right, well, I think we'll dive into topic number 1, and that is the content drought. Can Final Fantasy make it through between now and Dawn Trail without losing a substantial number of its subscriptions? Gibles, what do you got? What do you think?
I don't know. This is pretty big, and people have already been shouting about content drought just over the last half of this expansion, anyways, without even a 8-month window, 8 to 9 month window of nothing. Right? I mean, how long is this raid tier going to be? The raid tier. When did it drop? Is it going to be the raid tier for like a year?
Yeah, it'll be the raid tier for over a year.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of that's exacerbated by they swapped to the 4-month cycle from the 3-month cycle. Definitely. I think is a big thing that happened that's changed that.
Anabasis dropped on May 23rd of this year, so it'll be over a year of content on this particular piece.
Yeah, it's. There's I don't know. There's always the doom singers, right? The end singers, if you will. Every single time we're at an expansion changeover. I mean, I could pull up a video from 7 years ago, and it's like it'll be labeled content drought, and it'll be like a Heavensward video, right?
Right.
But at the same time, I feel like there's all the controversy that's been going on from a couple of YouTube videos. I'm not going to name names about it on here. Everyone knows. But definitely, I was watching a couple of things, and one of the things I had noticed that a lot of it, I think, is getting. So my idea on the content is that I have never run out of content in this game. I've played a lot. I have a lot of playtime. And I just never run out of content. So even with this 8-month gap, I don't think I'm gonna run out. Even still, yeah. I do understand there's a lot of people who are, and I feel like it's a lot of the people who play the game for one thing, right? There's a lot of people who are like, I'm only here for the raiding. I'm only here for a Lolo, or not Lolo, the island, right? Or crafting.
Yep.
And I feel like that's causing some problems with it too. But I think some of the solutions they can implement probably is I think their best bet is just a bunch of events. What do you think?
Yeah, there's been an announcement that they've made that, I mean, obviously we have the 16 event, right? Which I can give my opinions on. I think it's gonna be okay, right? I think it's gonna be fine. But they're bringing back. I expect them to bring back the 15 event to bring the car back into play again. You've got Fall Guys, which is good until December. Who knows when they'll bring that back again, right? They said that that's going to be an off again, on again content pull. I don't know if that means that there definitely will be a Moogle event. I don't know if that one will be massive, right? I think they're going to throw a bunch on that so that they can get people to continue to just grind all that stuff out before Dawn Trail. But you've got, I think Fall Guys, they might change the arenas up every time they bring it through, so it won't be the same content routed over and over again. But who knows, right? They spend a bunch of time on that to kind of build it to what it was. I don't know if they're going to be able to push that off that far, or they have to at least refreshen it. I think we've been confirmed to get the Yokai Watch event again. Yeah. So that's a bunch of mounts and a bunch of minions. If you haven't done that before, if you're a newer player and haven't done that, hasn't been around in a really long time. So that'll be kind of fun to bring that back a little bit. But I think ultimately, those of us that are capped, Fates, just a bunch of Fates, right?
Fates.
Yay, Fates. I think that those of us that have been around for a while are fully capped 90. I know I have goals for Dawn Trail. I know the things that I want to get done. I know Gibles. I've talked to Gibles about that stuff. I want to do full cap on my alts. But
I love Fates, 100%. Yeah.
But I just don't think that the average player is going to be able to make it through.
I love how everything is Fates in this game. Everything. I feel like they could definitely bring back something, if not the Makai event again, but something similar-ish. would be pretty easy for them to implement. So a PvP event that's not necessarily the season.
You know what would be interesting, even though all this stuff is on the MOG station, is if they bring back the 13 event from like way back when 14 was kind of created.
I actually don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, they had like the lightning from Final Fantasy 13 and all this stuff. It was like the very beginning of the concept of 14 coming out. They had this big like 13 event.
I actually do remember that. My dumbass was thinking of the 12, and then you said 13, but I thought the 12 for some reason.
Yeah. That's a good point, Rex. There is a chance that you could get the triple triad card tournament wins without having to really win, right? Because if nobody's on and you sit there forever, you just kind of win, if I remember that correctly. But yeah, I think they're kind of putting the onus on the FCs to build events for their players to kind of keep the time alive. I just don't think it's enough, right? I think you're gonna see a mass. I don't want to call it the lightning card. Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Isn't it like a free pack, right? You have to get into one of the paid packs right now to get the lightning card. It moved the event from the tournament, but yeah. I think that it's going to be hard to not see. I don't want to say a mass exodus. I want to see probably a large sabbatical from a large number of people. I think you're going to see that if you're not already seeing it now. I know that there's a lot of players who don't do the 0.55 patch and they save that for like the week before the X-Pack launches, so it kind of refreshes them back on the story. I've seen some streamers talk about how they are going to they're going to be shifting their time to they're going to be doing New Game Plus again to try to get new subscribers to come through and watch, because it's, walking through the story again from start to finish.
It's 6.5 and 2 patches. I mean, they've been doing that just in general with Endwalker, because they moved the content cycle from 3 months to 4. It's really not a 4-month content cycle; it's a 2-month, and they just split the patches into numbered and 05s.
Yeah, 655 is going to come out. I think they said early 2024.
One thing to think of, there was a trial specific to the FanFest. Do you think they're going to actually fully release it after the FanFest to the rest of the game?
Probably. I think that would be. I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that might add a little something to it. One thing I was thinking, because we're having we're having 8 months, right? It's essentially 2 content cycles. 2 patch cycles for the game. I mean, like you could swing, especially with the way the story is right now, that they could want or need. I mean, it's unprecedented 0.6, right? But
yeah,
that number would normally include another raid tier. That raid tier's like the story's done. I mean, like I wouldn't be opposed to 16 raids, but that would include new tome gear, in general. That's a pie in the sky. I don't think that's going to happen. But
yeah, I don't think you're bound to see that, because whereas most content for Final Fantasy has been like a preemptive preparation for the next game, like they've kind of already said that this patch content has been to wrap up what was done from 2 through 6. So like I think you're going to see like a kind of a fresh start come 7.0.
I can only see like a 0.58.
Yeah, well, they've already slated a 0.58 because a 0.58 is when they'll unlock the alliance raids. So 0.58 has always been a thing, because they do the 655 to bring the second part of the MSQ content, and a 658 will unlock the alliance raids probably 3 or 4 months before the new game comes out, so that people can. Yeah.
The problem is that there's a lot of things that, like, if they could like throw something in, I mean, they've got like 8 months before but like maybe a small team could whip something up in like 4 months. But like anything that they throw in isn't gonna be isn't even gonna be a band-aid really. It's gonna be like a piece of cloth you put on it, because like what if they make a new V and C dungeon, right? They can't give another. It's gonna be a slide back on the rewards, what everyone has been yelling about, right? Right. Because they can't drop another like
I also
tome
think
weapon
content
upgrade.
added is content taken away from 7.0, right? So like you have to look at this as like a balancing act of like anything that they pull development from the build of 7.0 pushes 7.0 back further, and in order to add more content, right? Which is like kind of the double-edged sword, right? You want more content between now and the X pack, but if you add too much content to the X pack, you take away from the live content that's going to be pushing through. What's going on, MJ? How you doing, man?
Yeah, it definitely breaks the like if you're not paying attention to the fan fests and you've just been playing the story, and you finish 6.5 and you're like, okay, so the story's done and Kryle has a Smash invitation. Like, what's going on?
Right.
100%. Like, and we're supposed to have all of the shoehorn for all of the story content to shoehorn us into the next one in just 5.5. That's kind of a big ask for that.
We're currently talking about content drought, right? So we've got Final Fantasy has one more official MSQ patch between now and its next release of its game in summer of 2024. And then whether there will be enough in the game to keep people kind of satiated to keep subscribing, right? Because the ultimate goal in MMO is to make money, right? You want people to subscribe so they play. Summer of next year. Yeah, so we got, and they haven't given us like a time frame. It's just been kind of a, hey, it's, when it gets here, right? So it could be summer officially starts at the June 21st is the summer solstice. So June to like August, September is technically summertime that this content should come in. So I mean, well, it's June to August, I guess, right? June, July, August would give you.
It'll drop the day before fall. It'll be like what's...
And technically, they can't say that it wasn't summer because it's still summer, right? I mean, but yeah, so it's definitely one of those things. I'm going to take that out. I'll block the stream elements pushes into the main chat so we can keep those out for next time. But it's definitely something that we need to like we need to worry about, like. For those people who are kind of up to date on content and current, that's going to be a huge deal to not have content between now and Dawn Trail. I think Dawn Trail looks fantastic. I think concept for Dawn Trail looks amazing. I'm excited for what it's going to bring. I'm interested to see some of the technical difficulties that are being brought up from like a fact that this is a brand new story. Like, we're not continuing on anything. It's a brand new story. But it's just one of those things. It's like, we'll have to see.
Yeah, and I feel like they're putting a lot, like not all their eggs, but most of their eggs in one basket, kind of at this point, because they're like talking about putting like, I mean, they haven't said explicitly, but Yoshi P has kind of hinted at putting like every single piece of content that we've had in every other kind of expansion, right? Like a diadem type thing for gatherers, an exploration area, a crafting zone, like it's the it's garden restoration, maybe another second island or something like that. He keeps on like hinting at like all like Dawn Trail's gonna have everything, but it's like we got this gap in between, right? Right.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what we're kind of worried about.
Yeah. I think. Sorry, good.
But yeah, so I think that stuff's going to be. I think it'll be interesting to see, right? You've got some people like streamers that have haven't been to in-game content. They have plenty to do. Like, so like any of the streamers that I talk to that are just now finishing up Endwalker and that are like, they're worried about the content drought. I'm like, you have literally nothing to worry about with content drought, right? You can go back and you can play Savage fights that you haven't done and get the mounts and do the grinds. You can go back and do the the EX trials and do those. You can start doing Unreals if you want to. You can start doing current level Savage. You can start doing the Island Sanctuary stuff. You've got the VNC dungeons. Like all this stuff is like right there for you, and you've got plenty of time. Some of us who like are keeping up with the story and we're getting these pieces a little bit at a time, we've kind of finished them. Like you have tons of stuff to do. Don't worry about it. You got Fates. You got all kinds of stuff. Talking about Fates, you do the shared Fates to try to get that grind done.
What was the time between the Unreals? Like we're not going to get the next Unreal come 5.5. We're not going to get another one. I mean, like maybe we'll get one at the 8. Just keep things fresh, because I don't think people are going to be like up to doing Thornton for 8 months.
I think that you will see something on 7.0 or 7.1 or 7.05. I don't think we're going to see another Unreal piece of content between now and then. Those are generally done on the hard number patches is when they change those up. So I mean, you generally see 2 patch cycles before those kind of get brought up. Stuff that I would like to see. I mean, things that we're never going to see, right? I want to see a Kingdom Hearts crossover. That's never going to happen.
Oh, God, no.
It's just Disney has strangleholded that, and we're never going to see it.
I mean, they could just do like Riku in.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
the Beast Tribes do have a bunch of extra content you can do as well. It can cap out Beast Tribes. Look, there we go. More stuff, right? Something we haven't talked about.
One thing I would think would be really cool is to make sort of. And I mean, like, this is something I kind of want to talk about. I'll probably talk about another time, like more in depth, and I might make a whole YouTube video on it myself. Is make a 4-man difficulty trial-esque thing. So like similar to like the extreme extreme trials, but make it 4-man but take sort of like Unreal. Take final bosses from dungeons. Give me an extreme or a savage Fenrir or Mistbeard, or I'd hate to see the Kraken. The Kraken's been overdone.
Yeah.
But something like this, like I mean, this is a lot coming from me wanting a really cool epic anima fight. But I mean, like it could be 8-man. It could be it'd be interesting to have 4-man esque trial-esque things. Just a boss fight.
I'm about to dump into an ad break in a minute and a half. I have to turn my ads off.
Okay.
So I think we got a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think ultimately no, right? I think you're going to see a big group of people leave. I think you'll see a number of people stay in preparation. Yeah. I think you're going to see a number of people stay in preparation, but I think ultimately that it's going to be a hard pass for some people to stick around. I've already seen a lot of people leave. Like we've had members of my FCs just kind of bounce because the content's just not engaging for them. And I think that's been like, I know Gibles, you talked about some of that, like the Zeppelin stuff has been very like everything after the 0.0 has been kind of garbage and it hasn't been great and it hasn't made me want to stick around.
I saw a video that was talking about that, and I think it made a really good example of why people in that space are feeling that way. And that if you look at a lot of the previous expansions, the content that you got, well, one, it was every 3 months instead of 4, like I've said a couple times now. It was also kind of like you got like one big chunk of like stuff. Like you got like Eureka would take forever, right? But you just got Eureka, or you just like it, but it was a big bundle of it in Endwalker. Even though they've been spread out more, what you've been getting is like some Island Sanctuary. You've been getting a deep dungeon. You've been getting this. It's a lot of other. It's a lot of different content and not a ton of like one content.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, I think we hit that one kind of pretty hard. Great first topic. I think right now what we'll do is we'll take a quick 5 and we'll come back to discuss the second topic. I think the second topic is probably going to be our bigger topic, which is player griefing and cheating and all that stuff, all the hard hitting questions. So we'll be back in like 5 minutes.